Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today it's 1964 Roosevelt dimes from the United States, the last year that they made them in silver. Their melt value alone is over $5 right now, but they're not hugely valuable because they made 2.3 billion of them at two different mints, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. But there are some that are valued in the thousands, and we'll take a look at what you need to get one of those. When we magnify it up, it's 1964 at the bottom. It's Roosevelt facing to the left, Liberty here, In God We Trust under its chin. One of the things that doesn't hurt is this coloring that's on here. If you get one that has a lot of coloring on it, don't think that it's a bad coin. They call this coloring a patina, and a lot of times collectors love it. These are 90% silver, 10% copper. On the back, you see there's a torch in the center. United States of America at the top, one dime here, a pluribus unum kind of broken up across the middle. And in the middle, you also see an olive branch with olives on it, a torch, and an oak branch with some acorns on it. If we magnify this way up, we see there's two bands at the top and two at the bottom. If you can get these in really good shape, so there's good separation and you can see the bands really well, that's called a full bands version, and those are the ones that collectors value the most. For the Philadelphia coin, there's no mint mark. For the Denver coin, there is a D mint mark, and this is kind of a fun one here. A little messy D there, but still counts as a D. So at Philadelphia, they made 929 million. They've currently found a mint state 68. They've only graded one of those at PCGS, and they value that at $8,500. There's also some double die reverses on these, and the highest price double die reverse from Philadelphia is worth $995. Now you might have seen this coin when we started too. No mint mark on here in the back. That means it's from Philadelphia. But this is a proof coin. They're specially minted coins that are sold in sets. When you grade proof coins, you have a regular proof, you have a cameo proof, and you have a deep cameo proof. The cameo proof, the letters and the symbols in the coin are a little bit white. On the deep cameo proof, the letters and the symbols come flying right off the coin. It looks like it's buffed or sanded, almost like a sandblasted version of the torch and image on the front. This one right here, because it's a proof coin, has some value. They only made around 4 million proof sets. If you get this in an incredibly good shape and it's a deep cameo, you can get up to $5,250. Silver melt value is $5 alone, but it probably is not worth over $10 simply because it isn't a cameo or a deep cameo. Now, if you want to get a letter on the back, you have to go to the Denver Mint from 1964. 1.35 billion of these were made at the Denver Mint. One of the things that you should know about the 1964 silver coins is that the U.S. government decided to go through all of their silver for the silver dimes and kept making the 1964 version until the beginning of 1966. So 3/4 of these 1964 coins were made in 1965. The Denver Mint, the auction record is $6,495. They do have two coins that have been graded at a mint state 67 plus, and PCGS says those are worth $8,000. And you'll see this one, this is going to be not worth any more than melt value. Now when we talk about melt value, you need to know that you almost never can sell coins for melt value because the dealer has to make some money on them also. And so if you sell a $5 melt value coin, you're probably not going to get over $4 for it. In some cases, you're going to get less. And these days, you might get significantly less, maybe $3.50 or so, because dealers have too many of them. Everybody took their 1964s in and sold them for melt value when the melt value was higher. There are some 1964 dimes that are very interesting, and those are dimes that were struck in these prototype special mint sets, and they're called the SMS dimes. They're about 25 to 50 different special mint sets from 1964. They'll have a totally different finish on them. You can actually see the polishing on them. If you get one of those, it's going to start in the thousands of dollars and could go as much as $18,600 for just the dime in that special mint set. Those were not identified in 1964 when they first came out. They weren't, in fact, identified until 1993 or 1994. The collectors figured out that there were some special mint set dimes from 64 that were silver. They're really, really hard to find, and you have to bring them and get them identified if you want to get the money for those. There are also some very, very interesting error coins and other coins from 1964. So let's take a look at those. Let's start with that special mint set version, and you can see right up there, this is from Heritage Auctions, $18,600 in August 28, 2025. If you look at it, you can see some kind of striations going through here. That's one way, and then through here. That's how they polish these, and often when they did it, they polished them so much that it wore off a lot of the fine details on here. So when you look at the back, often you see just really kind of worn down stuff here. But this one has the lines on it too, and that's why this one is such an expensive one. Hasn't been polished all the way off. It is a special mint set version, and it is just in fine shape. And you can tell what kind of shape it's in when you go to the PCGS website, and you can see that this is a special 67, and that's how they rank the special mint sets. And then if you look at the back, you can see all the other PCGS identifying data on the back. And here's a major error coin from 1964 over here that sold for $4,312.50. Up here, it's a Roosevelt dime, 1964 D Roosevelt dime, struck on a 1 cent alloy planchet, which is very weird. Mint State 64 from PCGS. And if we look at it, we see the back, we still see that kind of copper color to it. And that there's a D there for Denver. And then if we go here, we see that it has been graded as a Mint State 64 by PCGS. So essentially the wrong metal got into the striking process, and they struck a few dimes on that wrong metal. It's hard to identify them. They're about the same weight, 2.49 instead of 2.5 grams. All right, let's get back to our coins. We're back to our 1964 dimes. Look for them out there. Good luck coin collect. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.